Hello, my name is Cheryl Nelson from Natural Chicken Health, and I'd like to welcome you to Chook Chat for 2018. This year we're going to be doing some different style of Chook Chat by taking some videos on interesting topics, all things chooky. In this first edition, we're going to talk about mites because it's the height of summer here, very humid, so we thought we'd launch into talking about the problems of mites, how to recognise them and how to address them on your chooks. Leg mites is a problem that's quite common in chooks, and even if you treat it, it's likely to reoccur. I treat it by using olive oil, brushed, painted onto their legs at least monthly. You can either use a paintbrush or a soup tin and dip their feet into it if you find that easier. Then, you've got a slippery roost, but if you do that every month or so, you'll manage to keep on top of the leg mites by smothering the mites. They are just a bug that lives under the skin in their legs. This is quite good, but you look for little nodules that kind of bump out and swell, and they'll end up crippling a chook if it's not treated properly. Another important factor when you're dealing with mites on chickens, or trying to prevent that, is to be careful of what you use for nesting material. And I tend to favour something that's not hollow, so as the bugs can't escape into that material. Use pine needles, it's really useful, really good. Bit of shredded paper. And then when I can, I'll use some rosemary or any kind of aromatic plant, just shred that, sprinkle some of that in the nesting box, apple mint or lavender, whatever you have that's any kind of aromatic pruning in the garden. A further way to deal with mites on chickens is to use diatomaceous earth. I sprinkle this powder into their nesting dusting areas, just a little like that. Don't let's breathe it in, so stand downwind because it's not a great thing to inhale. They'll come along and dust that, fluff it around their bodies and feathers, and mites won't survive that. It kills mites through penetrating the skeleton of the mite. So it's a very natural way of dealing with mites on chickens. If your chicken coop becomes infested with mites, that's another problem again, because no matter how much you address the problem of mites in their nesting material, or clean them off the chooks, or make good dust baths for the chickens, if they're on the roosts, they'll keep reinfesting the chooks. So that's something that you really need to get on top of. When it is a problem, and a bad problem, you'll find them in all the little nooks and crannies. Keep poo off the you can't see that. Keep poo off the roosts, and give it a good spray with pyrethrum insect killer, which is a plant-based insect killer. Just spray on the roosts, wet them down, keep the chooks out for the day, and that'll deal with the mites. One of the important ingredients in super mash is sulphur. Sulphur is known to make the blood of the chicken impalatable to mites. So by feeding your chickens super mash on a monthly basis, that will help repel mites.
Please hang up and try again.
The other important ingredient in super mash is garlic. And garlic's been used for many years to help maintain good chicken health. Whilst we might like the taste of garlic in our food, mites certainly do not. And because it taints the blood of the chicken, so once again, if you feed garlic through super mash to your chickens monthly, you're going to help reduce mites on your chooks. Well, that about wraps it up. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first edition of Chook Chat. If you have any other ideas about how you treat mites, we'd be really pleased to hear them, and we'll talk about them in our next edition. Remember, you can order Super Mash online from the website at naturalchickenhealth.com.au.